Are you feeling stressed about the way you speak English? Well, today let's talk about stress, and specifically word stress. Let's watch this video that highlights the importance of correct word stress.
Hey, aren't we all in the same English course?
Oh yeah, how's it going?
Not bad, except I sometimes have trouble with my grammar, isn't it? I mean, sometimes I'm perfect, but other times I don't, won't they?
See, I'm all right with my grandma. My problem is spelling. I can't spell to save my loaf.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have to rely on the spell chalk on my computer.
Well, you know, look at it this way. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't eat it too. You know what I'm saying?
No, not really.
Oh, I think that she sometimes has trouble mixing metaphors, aren't she?
Yeah. Sorry, you guys. I'm always crying over spilled chickens before they're hatched.
It's all right for you all. I've got a very small vocabulary.
What's that like?
It's all right for you all. I've got a very small vocabulary.
That's okay. I have problems with my emphasis.
Your emphasis?
Yes, my emphasis on different parts of the sentences. In my job, that can cause a lot of awkwardness.
What do you do?
I'm a speech therapist.
A peach therapist that can't spike properly. Surprised your boss hasn't sucked you.
It's all right for you all. I've got a very small vocabulary.
Can I make a suggestion? Why don't you purchase a dictionary? You'll save yourself a lot of embarrassment.
I tell you what, why doesn't we all try studying together, isn't it? How doesn't next week sound, didn't we?
Great idea.
Fabulous.
Yeah, you give him an inch, it's worth two in the bush.
It's all right for you all. I've got...
Shut up, isn't it?
Okay, so there was a lot we could pull from there, but I really just want to focus on the guy that was stressing the wrong syllables, okay? So let's talk about word stress. So in American English, we have a certain stress pattern that we put to words that is the same every time. So there is very specific syllable that needs to be stressed or emphasized in each word. So let's go through the words that he used in this little sketch and talk through it. So emphasis. So it should be, he's doing second syllable stress, and it should be first syllable stress. So emphasis. Instead of emphasis, emphasis. And then there's the word sentences, okay? Sentences is I think how he was pronouncing it. And it should be sentences. First syllable stress, sentences. Emphasis on the sentences? No. Emphasis on the sentences. Another one is awkwardness. Awkwardness. Not awkwardness, but awkwardness. So instead of second syllable stress, we want first syllable stress. Awkwardness. Awkwardness. So when we're stressing, we're pronouncing it higher, louder, longer on that stress syllable. Awkwardness. So think of it kind of going up and down the hill. Awkwardness. Okay? Speech therapist. And I think he said speech therapist. So he is pronouncing that, again, that second syllable where it should be first syllable stress. Speech therapist. Okay? Another one, suggestions. He was pronouncing first syllable stress and saying suggestions, and it should be second syllable stress. Suggestions. Okay, another one, dictionary. He was doing dictionary. He was doing second syllable stress, and it should be first syllable. Dictionary. A couple more, embarrassment. Not embarrassment, but embarrassment. So second syllable stress, not third syllable. And then fabulous, okay? Fabulous is second syllable stress, but the correct way is fabulous. He was looking fabulous. So don't be embarrassed by the way that you say fabulous. All right, so how do you know which syllable to stress or emphasize? Well, there is a whole series of rules that come along with it based on the prefix and the suffix and kind of, you can go through and learn these, and I teach this very specifically in my online training program called Pronunciation Pro, where we go through and I really teach you the rules of word stress. How do you know exactly which syllable to stress in a given English word? But really what it comes down to it is we need to learn how to recognize that stress syllable as we're hearing other speakers say it. So as you're speaking with other native speakers, I want you to be tuned in to the word stress, be able to notice the word stress. So when you hear them say fabulous, you can be like, oh, okay, fabulous, first syllable stress. I'm going to match that. Okay, so that imitation is going to come in way more handy than memorizing all of the rules of word stress. The rules help us give an understanding, but in conversation and as you're interacting with native English speakers, as long as you're tuned in to what word stress is, how it sounds, when it, what it sounds like if it's not said correctly, all these different things, you're going to be able to pick that up as you interact with those native English speakers. And that's what I want you to do, because that's going to really help you grow and improve the fastest. So as I'm working with my students through my program, one thing I've noticed is, especially my students from India, where they have been speaking English pretty much their whole lives, and they are very fluent and familiar with English, but the pronunciation is different, and specifically word stress is different. So their bicycle, bicycle might be the way that they stress or emphasize it. And I may be wrong on this specific example, but I think I remember this one from one of our Indian students, is they were pronouncing it bicycle, and that's normal for where they're from. That's how people from where they're from are saying it. But in the US, we stress it in a different way. So that can add another challenge to it, is when you're used to speaking English from your mother country, but there is a different stress or emphasis on those words, you have to then learn that new stress or emphasis that Americans used to hearing. Because if you're stressing one syllable instead of the other, then there's going to create this misunderstanding. I also see this with French speakers, is there's a lot of overlap between French words and English words, but there's just a pronunciation or word stress difference. Okay, so similar words, maybe French, maybe Spanish, where the words are very similar in English and in French or Spanish, yet the pronunciation or the word stress is different. So that's where we really have to tune our ears to how American English sounds, really immerse yourself and listen to native English speakers. So as you listen more to podcasts or TV shows or movies, when you really immerse yourself in listening to native English speakers, you're going to start picking up more and more on their stress patterns, but only if you're aware of it. Okay, so that's why I'm bringing this awareness to you, so that you can know what you're listening for and then be able to pick it out and be able to match that for yourself. All right, so if this was helpful, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get more learning as it relates to the American accent.